Hello and welcome to the Unique Unit University. Today we'll be taking a look at the Byzantine unique unit, the Cataphract. In history, cataphracts were used from as early as 200 BC by the Romans and the Parthians, whose empire rose and fell before the Age of Empires 2 time period even began. The term cataphract was used to describe heavily armoured cavalry draped in scale mail armour, with the rider also fully clad and wielding a lance as their primary weapon, with a mace or a sword as their sidearm, which we see as the primary weapon of the cataphract in Age of Empires 2. In the Middle Ages, the Byzantines became notable for using cataphracts, and they became a force to be feared, though they were not as heavily armoured as the cataphracts of earlier antiquity. The cataphract's main usage was to break through infantry formations and shock the opposing front lines. No matter how armoured you are, I highly doubt standing before a fully clad charging horse and rider is anywhere that you want to be. This is why in Age of Empires 2, the cataphract have a high attack bonus versus infantry, with a +9 infantry attack unupgraded and a huge +12 when elite. The Byzantine unique tech, Logistica, causes the cataphract to do trample damage. This also helps to simulate their strength and shock factor versus infantry in history. The way that the trample damage works though is different to how many people think. When Logistica is researched, the cataphract will do a fixed additional 5 damage to any adjacent units to it when attacking. This 5 damage is not given to the unit that it is actually attacking though. Cataphracts also have a hidden armor bonus versus cavalry attack. This means that units that would typically counter cavalry, such as camels and spearmen, are much less effective than usual, further increasing their strength against infantry and making them harder to counter with typical anti-cavalry methods. To counter the cataphract, a player can still create halberdier, because their cheapness makes them very cost effective regardless of the cataphracts having bonus attack and bonus defense against them. However, you will want to try and outmash your opponent's cataphracts at all time, otherwise you can very easily be overwhelmed and wiped out. Another counter would be archers and gunpowder, in order to abuse the cataphract's lower health and pierce armor than other heavy cavalry. Massed arbalest or hand cannons can do a great amount of damage to cataphracts, as well as other ranged units in the game, including scorpions, which can be really great if protected well. Of course, a combination of both halberdier and ranged units would still be the best option, since the halberdier can provide a sort of meat shield and the archers can fire from behind. The lack of pierce armor and the lower HP compared to other heavy cavalry means that the cataphracts are not so good at raiding, since they will die more quickly to castle fire and town centre fire. All of this makes the cataphracts fairly situational, and it's not all too common to see them used in higher level games. However, they do fare well against the Goths, who primarily use infantry units, and in this matchup the Byzantine player should be heavily favoured. They can also fare very well against the Aztecs, since the Aztecs like to use infantry as well, and the cataphracts, as we know, are fantastic at slaying and cutting those infantry units down. The cataphract though is very expensive, with the elite upgrade costing more than the paladin upgrade, and they are much harder to mass due to needing castles to produce them. Not only that, but in order to get the benefit from Logistica, you have to spend yet another 1000 food and 600 gold as well. With that said though, they are still a lot of fun, and a unit that I would personally make in every game given the chance, simply to act as a symbol of the might of my empire. Some of you may know this already, but the Cataphract is actually my favourite unit from Age of Empires 2, and in the picture on the screen now, I thought I'd share with you these guys. At the back, I bought a picture a while back from Chris Knapp Inc., which was a painting or picture made with ink of the Cataphract unit, and in the foreground you can see a Schleich Cataphract which was bought as a present from the Prague fan meetup by a guy called Bojan, which is really nice of him, and I absolutely love these guys. These guys sit next to me on my desk while I'm casting and playing Age of Empires 2, and I just thought I'd share these with you because I think they're pretty awesome. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something from it. I would, however, like some feedback on this video series though. I'm curious as to whether you guys prefer the old style of Unique Unit University, where I looked very in-depth at each statistic about the unit in question, or if you prefer this version where I try and give some historical background and show how it fits into Age of Empires based on historical facts and information. Let me know in a comment down below and leave a little like if you enjoyed the video. But for now, I've been Zach and I'll see you guys next time.